Hello, welcome to the announcement video for TBR Spin 2025. A very exciting video. Firstly, if you haven't heard of TBR Spin, this is the third year that it'll be happening, which is basically a year-long reading challenge in which you pick 12 books at the beginning of the year, and then every month we spin a wheel that leads us to a prompt, and through that you pick one of the books. Sometimes we might get swap prompts, so you might lead yourself to something that's not on the original stack, but that's the goal. Each month you get a prompt, you read one of the books on your stack. So for the past 2 years, I've been doing this with Jill from the Book Bully, and I've been having a really great time doing it with her. We've had so much fun. We did a live show together last year, and just like in general, great time. Unfortunately, Jill's gonna be stepping away from YouTube. If you wanna learn more about that, she talks about it a little bit in her TBR Spin for December, so I'll link that below. But she is not going to be doing TBR Spin with me this year, but I am still going to be doing it. So thank you to the people that in my last video for TBR Spin that I made, so that would have been the November one, I had asked if you were interested in doing it again for 2025, and I got some really nice comments saying that you were interested and in fact very excited to do it again, that you'd really like to do it again. So it's happening. But I have decided to make a couple of changes, mostly to help me run it, but also things that I think are gonna make it more fun in general. So traditionally the way that the prompts were done was that it would alternate between mine and Jill's channel, where we would just film a video that would have us spinning the wheel for the prompt. And that would be posted on about the first day of the month. Now, I know that several people have said that they would love to get the prompt earlier than that. And so that's something that I definitely want to do this year. But in addition to that, I also am thinking about doing them as live shows instead of as just videos. It'll be a lot easier for me to get out early because obviously it would just be done live. There's no editing for me to do on my part. But not only that, it would really help me to connect with the people that are actually taking part in the challenge, which I think sometimes is kind of hard to do. That's why I had created the Discord initially, but it turns out I'm terrible at getting on Discord and talking at all. And I think it still feels like a little bit disconnected to like go in there, post a message, like leave, and then like 2 days later come back and it's like, oh, somebody responded, you know what I mean? So the Discord is going away. I'm just not keeping up with it enough, and I think that it is detracting from the focus of like the things that I think really matter with TBR Spin. So I don't think there's anybody that's gonna be super missing the Discord, but if there is, I'm so sorry. The StoryGraph challenge is still going to exist, and hopefully without me needing to think about the Discord at all, the StoryGraph challenge will actually be updated on time. So the plan is to have a live show a couple days or maybe a week before the end of each month. That would be for the next month. Not only that, but to make it TBR Spin and Sprint. So we would spin the wheel at the beginning and then do a few reading sprints afterwards. So time that we're all there together to read. You don't necessarily have to read your TBR Spin book or your pick for that month. I'm gonna try to do that just because I think that that'll be more fun to like talk about, to spin and then start reading that one. But also I think it will encourage me to get it on my TBR and like reading it right away, which is something that I've struggled with because usually I spin the wheel and then I'm like, okay, I've already got all these other books in my head for what I want to read this month, so let me set that aside, read those books, and I'll get to that one later. And then like it just gets pushed back and back. So I'm gonna be trying to read my TBR Spin books during those sprints, but absolutely you don't have to do that if you don't want to. But it just gives us a way to talk while the spin is happening about what book we're getting, about how we thought of the book from the last month, and then during the sprints to talk about the books that we are currently reading and how we're liking those. And I think that it'll bring the community around it more together, which is in my head what the Discord was going to do, but I don't think it was really achieving that. So I'm going to commit to the first 3 months of doing the spins this way. We'll see how the live shows go, and then after that, depending on how those go, I'll decide if that's how we're gonna do the spins for the whole year. If the live shows don't go well, like if people are just like not as into it, which is totally fine, some people are not into watching live shows, then I'll probably just go back to like recording the videos. So TBR Spin is still happening for the full year of 2025 no matter what, but we're just gonna try out this new live show TBR Spin and Sprint for at least the first 3 months, and then going forward if you all like it. So I am very excited. I'm sad to not have Jill a part of this, but you know, I'll still be messaging her, I'll still be talking to her. I'm just so grateful to have done it for 2 years already with her. So shout out to Jill. Everybody shout Jill out in the comments. I love you so much. Thank you for 2 awesome years, and I'll still be talking to you about books all the time, I'm sure. And Taskmaster. I'll still be talking to you about Taskmaster a lot. So the first live show that I'm going to do, it's going to be a little closer to the end of the month than I'm hoping to do going forward, just because Christmas time and we have family visiting and like staying here literally in this room. So I'm going to be doing the live show the day after they leave, which is going to be on December 29th. I don't have the time picked out, but I'll schedule it soon so that you can see when that's going to be and hopefully come to it. But if not, obviously you can watch the recording back later just to get the spin from it. But then going forward, I'm hoping to have it a little bit more before the start of the month, ideally so that people can plan their TBRs with TBR Spin in mind, like for the month, because I know a lot of people like to do monthly TBRs. So before December 29th, what you need to do if you want to participate is to pick your 12 books for your stack. I think this year I'm going to pick like the 12 oldest books, or 12 of the oldest books on my TBR, the ones that like I've been kind of putting off, or I might do 12 books from my 100 books bucket list poster. I'm torn between how to do that. If you have opinions, please let me know. Also, if you could please, in the comments, put your suggestions for prompts that you would like to see on the wheel. We usually put like about 10 prompts and then 2 swap prompts on the wheel at any one time. And then as a prompt gets taken off, another one gets put on. So if you do request a prompt and you don't see it on the wheel, like when we get together on the 29th, that doesn't mean that I didn't pick it. It just means that it's not currently on the wheel, and it will likely be on the wheel in the future. But I would absolutely love to see your ideas for what prompts you would like to see on the wheel. But anyways, I am so very excited to do TBR Spin 2025 with you, and I hope to see you on the 29th, where we will go over my stack of books and we will spin the first wheel and then do some sprints. I hope to see you then. Bye.